Welcome everyone to Weekend Escapades. Today we are in Modena, and this is a beautiful old ghost town. It was an old train stop. We're going to show you a lot of buildings that are abandoned here in the town and kind of share with you how this old west train stop is now an old ghost town.
Modena was established in 1899 when the tracks from the Utah and Nevada Railroad reached this area. It's located west of Iron City, Utah. It grew up as an important shipping and supply center in the area, as well as a major water stop for the old steam engines. Mr. Lund established a freight house business serving the region based in Modena and successful mercantile hotel in town. In 1903, a U.S. government weather station was established in the town, and by 1905, the Los Angeles and Salt Lake City Railroad routed its line through Modena and brought more commerce to the town. Now, Modena is a small town, very small, located off of US 93, and if you blink when you're headed by, you'll miss it.
Okay, so just to explore a couple of the old buildings that are here. Hopefully I don't get in trouble on this property. It doesn't say no trespassing. Take a look at a couple of the old buildings here in Modena. And you can see this one's been around for quite a while. There's an old boot on the counter. Some old beds. You can see the old lath kind of ceiling in there. This building is extremely old. And there's the front door going in the old building. And this one's coming down eventually. Slow but sure, but it looks like it's still going to be here for a few years. Now here's the old water tower here in Modena. Take a look, it's on up behind me. And you can see here, we can get a little closer. Now there are a few residents in this town, not many. It looks like there's a few houses. I did talk to one local, and she's the one that of course told me about the weather station. And as luck would have it, take a look at a little friend right up there. There's an owl looking at me menacingly. Like I think there's another one up there. I think there's a nest. There's another one looking out right up there as well. On the left, there's a nest up there. Sure as heck, look at that. That's a good find. So we'll walk around the water tower a little bit. I don't know if owls get upset when you're walking around them or not. Never been attacked by an owl. I've got them by our house, and we see owls all the time. And they just look at you and make a little bit of noise and fly off. But if there's a nest up there, which I see there is, and there's another one in there, I don't know how protective owls get. Take another look, another angle at that, because I find this very interesting. Right there. So I'm filming and look straight up, and a little bit scary. I found another one. Right there. Keeping their eyes on me, for sure. I didn't know there was that many owls here. That's be 3 of them. I found this right here. This is fairly dated and old. And as you look up in here, you can see that there's an old hose that's rolled up there. So they must use that to fill up trucks or whatever. It looks like an old fire hose and an old reel to reel up that hose. So they use that to fill, obviously. And the old hose is still hanging there. And the couplers for that hose are right there as well. All right, so here we are in front of the Lund Hotel and Merchandise. Now, this was a store and hotel that was used for the train stop. This is directly across from the tracks, as you can see here. And I found some old pictures. I'm going to share those here in the video about this location and what was going on in this town. There's a little store, mercantile store back in here. And then we're going to take a closer look. There's cement up front, but could go in these buildings. There's a way to access, but not safe. These look like they're coming down, but this is an amazing old two-story building, probably the nicest I've found that represents a ghost town. Now, there is no trespassing written all over this, but I am sorry. I'm gonna hop up here and take a look. I just have to. Let's take a look on inside. You can see here, you could go in, but not going to. Look at the old radiator right here inside, and you can see the old spring, box spring there, and you know that came out of the hotel upstairs. And take a look at the old ceiling. This place is fairly sound in front, but all wood, and it's gonna come down eventually. So we had to document this before any of that happens. All right, so walking on the cement walkway across the front of it. Ooh, there's no trespassing everywhere here. Hope we don't get in trouble. I'm sure we won't. Here's another room here. There's the old stairs going up. Look at that. Going up to the hotel upstairs. Boy, I'd like to get in here and explore at night. That would be crazy fun, but scary. And I'll tell you, this is exactly why they do not want you going inside. Look at all of that in the back that has fallen down. You can look around here and see probably the general store areas. You can see all the storage shelves originally. What would have happened here? See all that? It's probably for merchandise. You can see a hole right there in the wall where obviously a wood stove was piped out. There are some chimneys still left on this building as well. So this is a sizable building. Hotel. And we're gonna walk around the back and take a look. But as luck would have it again, a train's coming by. Let's take a look at that. And this right here looks like it is the little general store that they had. I don't see any signage. I'm gonna look some information up on this one as well. Couldn't find anything that called out to me, but looks definitely like a general store that is here. And this is awesome. Well, take a look at this building. I just hope it doesn't fall while I'm standing here. Look at the old material on the walls. You can see the tree all the way through the roof up there. And it looks over there like maybe that was an area where the pipe went through for a wood stove, and there's an old radiator heater right back over there. It looks like that was incorporated at one point, but probably used, it looks like a pipe went through right there for a wood stove. And then maybe in the back, there was also a chimney and another room back there. I'm gonna go around the corner, see if I can get a look inside a window in that one. And of course, the old bed frame there. That one doesn't look as old as the ones from the hotel. You can see this is an amazing building with the old wood door right here. And many a hands used to grab a doorknob that existed right there, I am sure, back in the day. So that was a pipe for a wood stove that went through, because you can see the chimney has fallen over on the roof there. Broke right off of its base. And then, of course, in the corner, that was also a place where that wood stove was. And we're gonna go take a closer look inside here. So these buildings definitely look like they're gonna come down. It's almost scary standing underneath the porch on that one because it's so crooked. If there was wind, I would definitely not do it. You can see the construction of the roof. This one doesn't look like it's as old. The nails, all round-headed nails. I know there's a lot of old square nails. Those are really dated. But look at all the old bed frames that are probably from the hotel that they stored in here. And the roof's coming down. And a lot of old tires that probably existed on a lot of old vehicles that were here. And somebody stopped and drank some Budweiser at one time, and those cans aren't very old. Somebody used it as storage and it all fell in. So the paper that's just inside the siding on the walls, you can see it here. It's more like a cardboard kind of material. So very interesting to see how they weatherize the building by actually building over the top of this kind of a cardboard-like fiber. So that's pretty much what it is. Anyway, if anybody knows exactly what that kind of siding is, let me know. Okay, so we're gonna walk around the back of this giant building and see if we can't peek in. Oh, we're not going in. So we'll see if we can take a look inside the windows somehow. Here we go. I'll hold the camera up. I'm not tall enough to get in, but take a look at what's going on inside if we can. Hopefully we can see inside there. These old windows. Everything says keep out on it. And watch your step on this. There's a lot of wood here with some nails in it. That would not be a good day. See if we can't see inside there. That is awesome. Got an old vent coming out here for an old wood stove. Makeshift that goes through the window. They put the old metal there for that vent to come out. You can see there. And let's take a look inside. I cannot see what the camera's seeing, so I've got to wait until I download this information and share the video with you. I'll see it just as soon as you do. Looks like that was a area where the stairs went down to get into the basement of the building. I'm assuming there's a basement, as there's some spaces and crawl spaces down here for like a daylight basement. And you can see the chimney still standing there. And the upstairs rooms, I wish we could get up there and take a look in those. Now just across the street from the hotel, some old houses here, and even older that we found, older like mining shacks or railroader shacks. But you'll see that even though this house is a little bit more modern, it looks like it's 1900-ish, but look at the designs above the windows. That is amazing architecture, and of course all stone. And then in the back, there's a tremendous amount of abandoned outbuildings. You just gotta love the old construction. It's so simplistic, and you wouldn't think that being such a simplistic structure it would still stand, but it does, because they were well built. They have an old school hammock they've got wired to trees. These giant old trees right here have seen some things. And of course, bed spring swing right here in front of the old house. So this is an old like chicken coop or animal pen. You can see the old chicken wire, and then also look at that. This one here, almost like in Lund, they have built this out of old railroad ties. That is a heavy structure. You can see again, probably chickens or some kind of a fowl, because they're the ones that would get out of those windows and fly out of there and get loose. And that is getting worse, looking like it's gonna come down. But they put some old boards, as you can see, to kind of hold the structure up, to keep some of the history. So they're propping it up, keeping it up there. An old ladder in there. Some old tins. Wish I could get a hold of those and read them. Old stovepipe. But that's what's left of the inside of this old building. And here's the other side of those buildings. I literally walked in a fence. There was no gate on it, so hopefully nobody is going to try and kick me off the property, or hopefully I won't run into anybody hiding or living on the property. Doesn't look like they would be. But look at the construction of this one. Kind of an old tar paper construction. Yeah, private property. We're not going in, so we're just gonna walk around. Take a look at these. This is an old, what do you call it, a root cellar? Made out of railroad ties. Look at that. Look at that in there. It's an old place to store food. Back in there, hopefully we can see a little bit. Don't want to go in there. Tight space. A little dangerous. There's a lot of earth on top of it. See that? Take a look around. Like we found in Lund, that is built out of railroad ties. Not a very good roof on this one. But look at what they did with old railroad ties in an old railroading town. I guess that's what you do, is build an amazing shed out of those objects. This has got to be, it's got the moon on it. This has got to be an old outhouse. You can see they put some new tiles on it, but that is the original old outhouse. Look at that door in the half moon, sickle moon, whatever they call it. That's it. Look at the top. They've put some siding on there to keep it. So it's original, to keep it preserved. And there's the backside of the old railroad tie shed. Here is an old outhouse with a screen door. I have not seen an outhouse with a screen door, and you can tell that is an outhouse. That has been here for a while. Take a look at that screen door outhouse. That has to be one of my favorite buildings. Well, outside of the hotel, of course. But this one is awesome. And in the wind, the old tin roof is blowing and making noise. And of course, all of the animals, farming animals, used to live right in there. Somebody resided here, made this their home for quite a few years here in Modena. Okay, so we have left the city proper of Modena and found ourselves in, of course, the cemetery. As in all ghost towns and old towns, there is a cemetery. This one's about a mile away from town, kind of up in the hills, the little foothills around. So we're going to take a look around and see what kind of sights we can see in the cemetery. You want to just kind of take care of things when you can. There we go, much better. Most of these are showing right around 1921, 1930s, things like that. But back here, looks like born 1818. Let's take a closer look at these two. Born 1869 and end of life 1920. These are very nice with the old iron. Very sharp. You wouldn't want to fall on that. My goodness. February 1868, November 1882. 14 years old. 1818. Same family. End of life 1885. 67 years old. So a family plot right here. This is some amazing old iron. That is in great shape. Very sound. That's not going anywhere. Good to see. A lot of these are falling down in some areas, but good to see that these are still structurally sound and they're really taking care of this area. This is in all, what looks like Japanese. And then, of course, the Kimura. I believe that's how I pronounce it. M. Kimura. Very interesting. Never seen one in all Japanese. That's going to do it for today. We sure enjoyed our extended view of Modena. We've been here before. We weren't able to take a look as detailed, but we were able to get on those properties and take a look at most of the town and give you a little bit closer look at this living ghost town, I should say. And until our next adventure, Goodbye from Weekend Escapades.